Hello everyone, nubkeks here and welcome back to Nub Raids. In today's video, we're going to be breaking down the new stuff, the new Summon Pool event, and of course, the Hero's Path is now live, so we're going to be taking a look at that over in Photoshop and figuring out what's the best way to do it and all of that. Is it even worth doing? Let's break it down. Sorry I'm a bit late, we're at the vet this morning, it's all happening. Who the heck knows what's going to happen? Willow's coming home later today. She's been in the vet, basically getting fluid treatment she has kidney failure for the last 3-4 days, maybe at this point. It's been a lot. So we'll see. She's doing well at the moment, but it might be just a matter of days, honestly. Who knows? Like once the fluid treatment stops, like that might be it. So we'll see. But something we've kind of we knew from a very early age that her kidneys were not right. And yeah, that's just the way it is, unfortunately. But she's happy at the moment, and that's the main thing. She's a little bit scared of the vet from the blood tests, but apart from that, she's good. Anyway, let's dive in. Let's take a look at this. So first of all, we've got the summon pool. Yeah, the summoning pool, I mean, the big draw here is obviously Falmond, who's looking extremely good. His passive in particular is crazy, which decreases the damage he takes by 10% for every turn taken by somebody else, which is great. And then, yeah, with 2 faction allies, he also starts charging up the damage of his A3, which is cool. He's quite cool. Honestly, I'm a pretty big fan of both him and Fina for the high elves. Aislinn is decent. He's fine. Bannerlord tank, he's cool. But yeah, all these faction unity champions are pretty cool. If you are lucky enough to get one, that's pretty great. You can build a cool team around that, and getting more of their faction then becomes really valuable for you. So yeah, it's 30 to pull this time, 6% chance of legendary, 94% epic. I mean, even if you do manage to earn 1 pull for free, even if you're early game, there's some good epics in there. Like Deacon is kind of a game changer. Mordecai's really good as well. The rest, actually not so much. Like, look at this. The rest of them, like Phoenix is pretty good. Phoenix is good. The rest, not great. With the legendaries, they're all decent. Like Archbishop Penthroy, he's decent for Hydra. Cupidus, he's a decent AoE damage dealer. If you've got Venus, he's very good for Hydra. Otherwise, he's just okay. Martyr, she's a good legendary to have. She can do some fun stuff for Fire Knight. She's been useful for some of the Cursed City, right? So yeah, they're all decent, but none of them are like SS tier. Like I must absolutely get them. Yeah, I feel like even all of them, for me as well, it's how I look at the faction unity. It's like, oh, it's a pleasant surprise if I get them. Oh, maybe the tournament has gone live. No, oh no, it's not. It's not live for 26 minutes, but this Sand Devil tournament should contain some Prism Crystals. And I think that's it. Let's see if there's any info. We jump over here, we click into this, we go into our events tab, and there we go. So yeah, the Sand Devil turn attack, that is going to give us Prism Crystals. That will be probably live around the same time this video is live. That looks to be it. There could be something else, but there could also be nothing. It could be that's the only source. That's pretty common. And Sand Devil is more of a late game thing. So yeah, I mean, that's sort of the summon pool. I'm not a particularly big fan of these, as you know, but I keep getting the free ones. I get most of the free ones, and I keep pulling them, and I get epics every single time. I'll get a legendary eventually. It's gonna happen. It'll probably be something rubbish. But that's cool. There's a summon pool. It's more of a spender's event. You might get 1 pull for free or something if you can do Sand Devil, and there's cool stuff there. Hero's Path. Now this is more of a question for everyone. It's going to be fairly intensive. Like, I mean, well, let's just actually jump into the scoring. So leveling and ranking up champions gets you points, and then summoning souls from soul stones gets you points. I'll probably do another video where I summon my souls from the soul stones, which is going to help me get a good chunk of the way there. I haven't actually sat down to work out how far I can get, but this is how it looks right here. So the first path we want to look at is the green path. This is going for just the 5-star soul. The perfect soul for Eostrid. I think that this side's a little bit better. Energy and rarity charms a bit better. You have to get the mythical ones. Then it's a toss-up. You could go left or right here. I think probably the 10 big essence is better than the 20 small essence. And obviously the mythical chaos ore is a bit better than the legendary, but I don't think it's a huge deal, really. So I think the right side is slightly better, but flip it up if you want. I don't think it makes a big difference. And yeah, then you have the soul. Now, the soul is 50,000 coins. That's where most of the cost comes from, guys. That's most of it. The total cost of the green path is 73,000 points, which is a pretty big chunk. Again, nearly all of it is within the soul. So, I mean, look, that's sort of how they price souls in these events. They tend to be around 50,000. They tend to be very expensive. Luckily, it's not that expensive to get there. It's actually pretty dark. Like, all of this stuff is great. Like, yeah, big essence, mythical things, rarity charms, energy, chaos. Yeah, all great rewards. So, yeah, it's really the big question is it worth going that deep, putting in that many points for the soul? Is the soul worth 50,000 points for you, and what that means in terms of a grind? That's the question, I think. I think the path to get there is just fine. Interestingly enough, if you want to get a mythical skill tome instead, obviously, to get down there, you got to get past a key. So we need to come down the side to get a key. So basically, you have to do all of this. It also works on the flip side as well. You have to do like all the flip side. The left-hand side is 2,000 points more expensive because the primal shard is 2,000 more than a void. Other than that, they are, I believe, identical. And the cost for that is actually surprisingly lower compared to the going for the soul. It's weird. Like, the soul is quite a short little path. This is a much bigger path, but it's cheaper because the soul is just so expensive. But it's 49,750. And again, most of that cost is honestly in the legendary and the mythical skill tome. So I'm not really sure how I feel about that. It's hard for me to imagine because I don't have a mythical champion. And I think I've got a bunch of mythical skill tomes because of that as well. Like, how many do I even have? I think I probably have enough to book 1 or 2. I have enough to book, like, fully book 2 mythicals. So, like, I'll eventually get Lady Mikage, and then she's booked. I can still pull another mythical and fully book them and still be, like, cool. So I'm personally not feeling any pressure whatsoever, really, to get mythical skill tomes. I don't know, if I did, this is the hard thing. If I did really want mythical skill tomes, if I'd pulled a bunch of mythicals, would I feel like this was good to go for? They're very limited. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I personally, if I was, I'd definitely be doing it. I'd be skipping the soul. There's no way I'm doing like 120,000. That's crazy talk. No way. So I'd either be going for a mythical tome, or I'd be going for the soul. And I would go for the cheaper one on the right hand side. At a quick glance, I feel like the right hand side rewards are better than the left hand side. Like, the chaos dust is better than that. But then I think the big extract is better than the big oils. Yeah, I'd rather 300 energy than some silver, etc. So yeah, I think the right hand side's a little bit better, but they're pretty close. It's pretty close. So yeah, I mean, like, if at a quick glance, if we were to do this with soul stones, I think it's fairly intensive, right? That's fairly like, how many do I have? Let me work it out. So we've actually got, let's say 110 mortals, and let's say 15 immortals, and 1 eternal. Like, as a rough ballpark. So let's say 110, was it 15, 1. Okay, and let's work this out really fast. So 110 x 100, that's 11000. 15 x this. I'm not going to do that in my head, or I'll embarrass myself. 7500. Just to work this out real fast, 7500. Let me just slap it into the calculator here. So we go like 15 times 1500 equals 22,000 plus 7500 plus 11000. 41,000. So yeah, I'm looking at like 41,000 roughly from souls, which is, it's almost enough for a mythical tome. It's slightly over half the way towards the soul. For me, what I am going to do, I'll tell you that right now, I am going to pull my soul stones for this, and I am going to go for the 5-star soul for her, because I am expecting to use her in Hydra teams. I think she makes it in for sure. I won't say for sure. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't had the time or the brain space at the moment to fully, like, between the dog and we were on holiday then, like, the last week and a half has been a blur. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty confident she makes it into a team. I think she's pretty good. So yeah, for me, for the sake of doing a bit of champion training, which I obviously don't want to do, but grinding out that champ training for the soul, I'm okay with that. And yeah, this is sort of the stuff we save soul stones for. Or at least I save them for this sort of thing. Slight bummer to miss out on the bonus 6-star soul thing, but that's the thing. Sort of like a guaranteed champion. Pulling for a guaranteed versus pulling for in a 2x event. Same sort of thing with souls. Getting definitely getting one thing that's definitely useful, but you miss out on, the random chance of more random stuff that could be useful. I like to lean towards the guaranteed stuff in the game. But look, it's up to you. The benefit of this guaranteed is you can go, I don't think Eostrid is good for me. I don't care. I'm going to skip it. Or again, a lot of people I think are in this scenario, and I think this is good advice generally as well, especially if you're earlier game or if you are more casual. Don't burn yourself out. Let's end on this because this is the most important part, right? There's going to be a Titan event coming as well, right? We're coming to the end of the fusion. What is going to happen? There is going to be a Titan event after this with some nice rewards, but it's going to be a lot of work, right? These hero path events, the Titan events, they are a ton of work. It's much better if you're getting stressed out by that, if you don't have the resources, to just focus on the fusions, right? The fusions are tough enough for most people, and the fusions give you the best bang for your buck. Like, just getting a whole legendary champion is the most worthwhile thing. Getting the soul for them is nice, but it's certainly not essential. And yeah, I would say I like her because I like Hydra, and I think she's good for Hydra, but I would definitely, for me, prioritize like 5 times as much arena champions. Like, souls for arena champions is where it's at. Souls for PvE champions are a nice luxury. So for me, I'm in a good position with souls, and I can do a bit of champ training and get the luxury, and it's hopefully going to be somewhat useful, but it's certainly not essential. The Titan path is probably not going to be essential either. So yeah, that's my advice to you. Right, there we go, guys. Let's see how we go. That's my plan, though. I am going to go grab her soul. I am going to do the Sand Devil tournament as well and get one free pull of this and get an epic. And yeah, we'll see. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all next time. Goodbye.